to you. So, all right. So what I want to do is I really teach my team how to create a marketing plan, because I feel like as much as we're Beachbody coaches, right? Or you're running a home business, your goal is to inspire other people, right? So you want them to join your business. You want them to join your challenge group. I'm just going to use coaching because that's what I do. And I'm going to use that as my example. So you want people to join your challenge group. You want people to join your Beachbody coaching team. You want them to join your gym. You know, whatever it is that you're doing, you're trying to get people to join. And so when you have a Facebook and you start a business and you launch your business, you have to create a marketing plan for your social media. You just can't go out there and just start posting anything and everything and hope that you're going to attract the right people. Because what happens, it's like putting a blindfold on, and it's like throwing darts at the wall and hoping that they hit the bullseye. And that is just, it's not gonna work as well. But if you sit down and create a plan each and every month based on the goals that you want to achieve, you are going to be able to get much more attraction in your business. More than the fitness packs. Nope. I've always promoted Shakeology. I've always done challenge packs. That's always been the way that I've gone. I feel that the nutrition and the fitness together are just the perfect, you know, just the perfect thing. So anyways, all right. People can see me fine. Some people can't. I'm not sure why. So anyways, all right, what I do is I get my calendar out each month, right? And so I sit down and I say, all right, you know, there are 4 weeks in September. There's 4 Mondays, and I know that I need to have Success Club 5. I know that I want to at least recruit 2 new coaches. I know that, you know, I want to run a challenge group that is all based around the 3-day refresh, because everybody's coming off of a holiday weekend. And trust me, a lot of people have fallen off the wagon. They've had a few too many drinks. They've gone to some picnics. They've had some desserts. And now it's time to get back on track. Plus, kids are back in school. You know, moms are now able to kind of start focusing on themselves. And so these are like the thoughts that go on in my mind. And I'm like, so how do I know when I should schedule my first challenge group? So you always want to give yourself 2 to 2.5 weeks to advertise for a challenge group. So what I do is, so if I'm saying today is the 7th, my challenge group is going to start on the 21st of September. That gives me today to launch my challenge group, to make my official post, and then that gives me almost 2 weeks of advertising. Because on the 21st, it's actually going to be my preseason, which is my plan and prep week. So even if somebody doesn't purchase until the 19th or the 20th, they'll still have their program in time for the 28th, which is our actual start date. All right, so I try to give myself 2 weeks. Then I say to myself, when do I want to run my 5-day coach sneak peek? Because if you are saying to yourself, I'm in this business because I want to grow an organization, I want to find other people that are just like me, that want to help motivate people to help others achieve their goals, then I need to promote the business. And that's definitely the side where people struggle. It's because they don't want to come across as salesy or pushy, you know, and they don't want to scare people away. And so, but it's important that you do that, because if you don't talk about the business and you're just talking about fitness, then people are going to naturally find somebody that is promoting the business side, that is doing a sneak peek, that is giving information about the opportunity. And they're going to join them, not because they're being rude, but because you didn't talk about it and they just didn't know you had the opportunity to offer, or you never asked, okay? So you have to run a sneak peek, whether you run it with your upline or you get a friend or your success partner and you guys do it together. There is so much out there to help you with running a 5-day coach sneak peek. And I can do another Periscope on that if you would like at a later time to kind of tell you how to run a sneak peek too. But so it's essential that you set a date. So for me, I know my challenge group is going to start on the 21st, and I'm going to be done advertising for it at that time. And so I'm going to do my 5-day sneak peek starting on the 21st. So I can start really advertising for that midway, like September 16th, right? I'm going to start and then get people into that and run that for a week. And then I know that I want to do like a Coach Basics. I want to start that the first Monday of October. So that kind of gives me 2 weeks in between each one to promote, advertise, and to run it. So now let's go back and let's talk a little bit about how do you do the jab, jab, right hook? So if any of you guys have read the book by Gary Vaynerchuk, it's called Jab, Jab, Right Hook, How to Create That Social Media Presence just in a noisy social media world, beyond the point where there's just so much on social media. How do you have a consistent message so that you're pulling people in? So let's just take my 3-day refresh group. For example, I'm going to run a 30-day group. It's going to start with the 3-day refresh, and for 30 days, we're going to use Beachbody On Demand so everybody can choose their workout of the day. Everybody's going to replace 1 meal a day with Shakeology, and I'm going to teach people how to slowly start changing their food and their nutrition habits and follow the meal plans that I've created and teach them about making good choices. I want to talk to people about the importance of, getting back on track. So I'm going to make my advertisement today. I'm going to talk about moms recommitting to their fitness. Your kids are back in school. You've got no excuses. It's time to put yourself first. Can you give me 30 minutes a day? Let's start with a fresh, clean slate, 3-day refresh, 3 days, a healthy cleanse to kind of get your body back on track. And then I'm going to give you 4 weeks of my meal plans and recipes and tips and accountability to help start that change and that positive thinking and that mental mindset. So when I make my advertisement, I'm going to post about that on my like page this evening. And I'll do it at a time of day when a lot of people are online. So for example, 9 o'clock at night. A lot of people, their kids are in bed. That's a good posting time for me. Maybe it's 7 a.m. in the morning, or maybe it's 2 in the afternoon. You got to kind of play with it till you find your ideal time. All right. So I'm going to post that, but then I don't just post it once and then never talk about it again. Or I don't just post it once and say, okay, well, nobody wanted to join my challenge group. I guess that was a flop. I'll try again in October. That's not the way it goes. You have to consistently deliver what I call jabs in order to get people to understand what you're trying to offer. So they might not understand what the 3-day refresh is. So tomorrow, maybe you show a picture of your 3-day refresh box that you have and that you're starting the 3-day refresh. Maybe you take a picture of your scale and you talk about day 1 of the refresh. I'm doing this because I just need to get back on track after too many cheats. I need to clear out the sugar cravings. I've been eating way too many sweets, or I just feel really bloated and icky, and I just know that this 3-day refresh is going to get me back on track. And then at the end, you say, if you'd like to do the refresh with me, I'm starting a group on the 21st. Message me for more details. That's a jab. That's also an invite, a public invite, but it's setting the stage because you're showing people kind of what the 3-day refresh is, without being salesy. You're not pulling something off the Beachbody website or a picture of the 3-day refresh that Team Beachbody has. It's you. It's a picture of you, the scale, or your box. And maybe you take a picture every day for the next 3 days at the end of the day, and you do a collage of all the things you've ate and how you feel. And you kind of do a synopsis. Day 1, review. Day 2, day 3, and then you compare day 1 to day 3. And so you're really showing people how the refresh works. Maybe then on day 4, you say, all right, I've finished my 3-day refresh, but I know that in order to keep these results, I have to continue eating healthy. So here's my game plan for what I'm going to do for this point forward. And you share your meal plan, and you share your mindset, and you talk about the workouts you're doing. And then you say if you would like help planning out your meals or making better choices, message me or like this post for more information on my September 21st challenge group. And so again, those are the series of jabs. You're setting the stage. You're showing results really happen. And then maybe you share 3-day refresh results from your other, coaches that are a part of your organization or friends that have done it before. And this is how you start to get a following. It's not on day 1 when you post about it. It's not even day 2. It, for me, is day 5 or day 6 of my consistent jabs of showing people that I have something to offer, that people start to say, okay, I saw you do the refresh. It looks interesting. Tell me more about it. Or I see your results. You're really motivating. Tell me more about it. So you have to set the stage. So give yourself a good evaluation. You can create a marketing plan. You can say, I'm going to run a challenge group on the 21st, and I'm going to run my sneak peek the next week. And you can have it all laid out. But if your social media doesn't back up and provide consistency every day in your posts, you have a hard time reaching your goals. So your marketing plan helps you almost back into what you want to achieve. All right. So does that help you guys out a little bit? Does that give you some guidance? So you do that with your challenge group and you advertise from the 7th all the way to the 16th. And then on that time, you really stop advertising for it, right? And maybe do one more, like I have one more spot left, like last chance to get into it. We're starting on the 21st. And then you stop and you say, all right, I'm going to just work on getting these people started. But in the meantime, I'm now going to advertise for my 5-day sneak peek. I'm going to flip the switch and I'm going to start talking about coaching. And so then you start doing the same thing. You put your ad out there about your 5-day sneak peek and that you're looking for people who would like to know more about coaching, or maybe you've seen me posting about health and fitness and you don't really know how this is really a business or how it works or how you make money. Well, you can join, a risk-free 5-day group where I'm just going to give you, I'm going to answer questions about what coaching is all about. And for 5 days, you can just find out a little bit more about what I do. And so then I start, every day posting about the coaching. And for me, it's like, hey, my kids are watching Power Rangers. My husband's downstairs working out and I'm in my office working, right? I have the best of both worlds where I have a business from home. Maybe, on Wednesday, whenever I go to take Bryce for his first day of preschool, I'm going to talk about the fact that I can block out 2 hours of my workday, go to preschool, do his orientation, and come back. And I don't have to report to a boss. I don't have to ask for time off. I love that I've created that freedom. It might not necessarily be that I have this ginormous paycheck, right? Because we all started somewhere. And at the beginning, as a new coach, I talked about those little things because that's what matters the most. And you can't ever lose sight of the little things that people are looking for in life that really can change their future. All right. So I talk about that. Give a series of jabs again, where you say to people, message me if you would like to join my 5-day sneak peek. And so you do the same thing again, and you continue to create this draw, and it's a consistent message that you're, advertising for coaches. You want people to join your team. You have a training to offer and a start date. And if you start to get into every single month creating your own plan, when you're going to start your challenge groups, back it up so that you know when you have to start advertising. And then as coaches join your team, start sharing this with them. Say, guys, this is my marketing plan for the month. This is the groups I'm going to run, and here's why. And if you start to teach your new coaches your thought process and why you're doing what you're doing, they will, again, follow your lead and duplicate your success. So the sooner you figure it out, the sooner your new team is going to be able to figure it out too. So that's how I create a monthly marketing plan. It took me month after month after month of practice and fine tuning and what's the best times to post and what are the best pictures to use. And yes, I do this every single month. I've done this every single month for 2 years now. And it is very important. And even if you've been out of the business for a while, you just recommit. You jump back in. You say, you know what? I realize how much I really do love coaching, and I love being a part of this business. And it's given me positivity, and I'm surrounded by people that I enjoy spending time with that lift me up and want to see you succeed. And so you just jump right in and you recommit. You relaunch your business. Yeah, you can do 2 groups a month. It's just that's just the way you set it up, is to do 2 groups a month. So any way you would like, you don't have to do it exactly the way I do it. You just have to play it out, plan it out, and lay it out in a way that you understand and it's organized to you. It doesn't matter if you're a brand new coach. Maybe you do a free 5-day group, then you do a challenge group, then you team up with your sponsor and you do a sneak peek. So anything that you want to do, you can absolutely do. Yeah, and you know what? And if you're saying to yourself, like, I only have an hour a day to work the business, then maybe you're not running 2 and 3 groups. Maybe it's 1 group. Maybe you split the responsibilities between your success partner or your sponsor coach, So this business is a platform. There is no right or wrong way to do it. It is all about you finding what works best for you in your business. All right? All right. Do you do more than once a month? What, a challenge group? I usually do 2 challenge groups a month. I usually do 1 sneak peek and 1 business opportunity call, and I always start a new coach training every single month. So yes, and I do use Sendable, which is kind of